So our next presenter is Saah Rahmaan. Saad is a very familiar face at DIA. He's a loving father, has 3 children at DIA, and he's almost a member of our school. Uh, that's all I know about you, but then I also have further information about your job, and I'll try to, make it as brief as possible because I had too much to say. Saad has set up a boutique corporate advisory firm in Dar es Salaam, covering East Africa. The company, Amani Partners, provides 3 key services: corporate advisory, Sharia advisory, and asset management. Prior to Amani Partners, Saad was the managing director with Credit Agricole CIB, based in both Bahrain and Dubai. He also worked with HSBC in London and Dubai. Thank you, Saad.
When I was asked to speak, I spoke at this last year. And I have to say, if I go back to my student days, I think this is a great event. I think, we didn't have things like Skype. We used to work off smoke signals back in the 90s and the 80s. But I think this is a great initiative that the school does to reach out to the professional community, to have people like myself, Yana, who spoke before me, to have Rose as well, and to see what is it that we can tell to you as you embark on the next stage of your life and possibly career as well. So it's a bit of a background. I was born in India, lived in the UK, lived in Saudi Arabia, lived in Canada, did my undergrad in Canada, came back to the went to Denmark for a little while, and then came to the UK. My parents did love me, but they decided to get rid of me for a while, so they sent me off to boarding school. That's why I moved around. Then, when I was in the UK, I started work with HSBC, then moved across to Dubai, came back to the UK to pick up my wife, who I met. That's another story for another day. Then we had 3 kids along the way. I was in Dubai, Bahrain, Dubai. Then I took, and maybe unlike Yana, who found that change much earlier in her life, I found it later. I ended up doing an MBA. And when you do an MBA, you do start thinking about what else can you do. And I left a very comfortable career as a banker to start my own business here in East Africa, to come to Tanzania. I have no links with East Africa. I have no links with Africa. But I came out here on a business trip in 2014, and I saw an opportunity. And I worked on that business plan to see, could I do a business out here in East Africa? So today we have an office here. We have an office in Kampala. We hopefully will have an office in Nairobi. And we work with a lot of different people, including USAID. I was with your power colleagues yesterday. And what we try to do, as Shweta said, can everyone hear me? Okay, sorry. If you can't hear me, please raise your hand. So what we try to do is we try to work with corporates out here in East Africa, corporates who are looking to get their house in order, corporates who are looking to raise funding from overseas. There's a lot of people who are interested in Africa, in East Africa, especially Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda. And we try to help people to do their business better. We sometimes the other thing that you find in East Africa is there's a lot of companies that are going through a generational shift where the previous generation want to sell and move on, and the next generation may not be ready to take that business. So we try to do all of those things, that we try to help companies. But not only do I do that, I also do a lot of Rotary work as well. Rotary, that some of you might have seen, is one of the world's largest charities. So we do work with people like USAID, not necessarily here in Tanzania. We work with WHO and the UN programs on polio. But one of the key things that you need is, when you leave high school, even when you leave university, you will not know what you want to do. Sometimes you will have a very defined idea, I want to be this. You could be doing science, and it doesn't mean that today you have to be in medicine or in biotechnology. The opportunities that are happening today in the world of technology are far greater than what they were for any of the speakers who are up in front of you. And the amazing thing is that even schools like DIA, one of the great innovations that you brought in here is you've got a 3D printing club after school. And I know because my kids keep on bringing me things that I cannot believe. Now, it's great to see kids doing it, but one of the great things that they're using 3D for is making prosthetic arms, which is a huge issue, which is also looking to see how, when we go to Mars, can a 3D machine make a place for us before we get there so that we don't actually have to make it ourselves as humans. So there's many things happening in technology that we didn't have the opportunity for, that you will have the opportunity for. There are new technologies coming up and new job opportunities coming up that were not available in our time. But the key things is you need to have some skill sets. So I'll tell you some 5 skill sets that I think are really crucial for you to have in life. Interpersonal skills. You need to be able to talk to people and you need to be able to listen. Now, I know my wife is sitting here, so I might be a bit of a hypocrite saying that, because she'll tell me I don't always listen and I talk too much. And that is true as well. We are humans. But in a professional context and a personal context, listen to people and also talk when you need to talk. The second thing is have some presentation skills, because if you have an idea, people also want to know that how can you get that idea across to them. Thirdly, have some personal integrity. Okay, personal integrity means that if you can say you're going to do something, do try and deliver upon it. Also, have some basic courtesies like timekeeping. If you're going to be somewhere, try to be there. These are all skill sets. And the last one, number 5, get to know how to work with people. You are not a silo person. In today's world, we have 3 speakers who are going to come in through Skype. We didn't even have any speakers last year on Skype, correct? If I remember correctly. This is how the school is embracing technology. Your job, you may be sitting in one location, but you'll be working with people all across the world. Be culturally minded. Learn a second language. I think, Yada, you started off because you knew French. Along the way, I picked up a smattering of French and Arabic as I moved to different countries. Be culturally open. This is one of the great things that IB stresses upon. That's why you do an international language. And when you do DP next year, that Ms. Sahana worked a lot upon, but unfortunately she won't be here, is that you do get to see the language side of it. Keep these 5 skills in your mind. Whatever opportunity you look at, whatever industry you look at, these 5 skills for me will cut across any sector, culture, geography that you might be in.